Sri Sairam. In the previous class, we solved some problems from exercise 8.3, and today we solve more problems from exercise 8.3. And the question here, find additive inverse of the following complex number, say 12 minus 7i and 4 minus 3i. So we have to find additive inverse. What is additive inverse of a complex number? Say if z is equal to a plus bi, then its additive inverse will be in the form of, say, minus a minus bi. If you add, so it will be a plus bi minus a minus bi. So this is equal to a minus a plus I times b minus b, and this is equal to what? 0 plus I times 0. This is the additive inverse. So we have to add something, and that gives 0 there. So now let us do this. Say let z is equal to 12 minus 7i, then its additive inverse minus z will be 12 minus 7i. So plus we have to add something to it, and it will give the sum of that gives 0. Okay, that and one of that will be the additive inverse of the given thing. So say if I see here 12 is there, so if I add minus 12 to it, it will get 0. Okay, and here minus 7i is there, so I will add plus 7i. So this is equal to what? So 12 minus this will be 12 plus, and this is minus 7 and this is plus 7i. So this is equal to 0 plus 0i. So hence we can say that minus 12 plus 7i is the additive inverse of 12 minus 7i. Understand? So we have to add to it, and that gives 0 plus 0i. So now we can say that minus 12 plus 7i will be the additive inverse of the given complex number. Similarly, you can try, you can find what is the additive inverse of 4 minus 3i. You can tell minus 4 plus 3i will be the additive inverse of it. Say, how can we find this is 4 minus 3i, if you add one of the complex number, and that complex number gives rise to 0 plus 0i, then only it will be the additive inverse of the complex number. So here plus 4 is there, so I can add minus 4 to it, and here minus 3i is there, I can add plus 3i. So this becomes 4 minus 4 plus minus 3 and this plus 3 times I, so which is equal to 0 plus 0i. So hence we can say that minus 4 plus 3i will be the additive inverse of, therefore I can say that minus 4 plus 3i is the additive inverse of 4 minus 3i. This is how we can find the additive inverse of the complex number. Next, what should be added to minus 15 plus 4i to get 3 minus 2i? So let us solve this. To solve this, I will take some z is equal to a plus bi. So I am going to add this to this complex number, so that I will get 3 minus 2i. Okay. So what I am going to add to that number is a plus bi. We don't know what we should add to this to get that. So that's why I am taking that a plus bi. So if I take that, so now I am going to add this with that. So it will become a plus bi plus minus 15 plus 4i, which is equal to 3 minus 2i. So we are adding something to that to get 3 minus 2i, and this is a real part, this is a real part, imaginary part is b and imaginary part is 4. So I can add the corresponding real and imaginary part such that a minus 15 plus b plus 4i is equal to 3 minus 2i. You can use equality of complex number. You can equate the real parts and imaginary parts on either side of the equation. So it will become a minus 15 is equal to 3 and b plus 4 is equal to minus 2. Here imaginary part is minus 2. So then this becomes a is equal to, so you can send this minus 15 to other side, it will become 3 plus 15. Therefore a is equal to what? 18. Next b is equal to, you can send this plus 4 to other side, it will become minus 4. Then b is equal to what? Minus 6. So now we should add what? A plus bi. What is a? 18. B is 6 minus 6. So what we should add to that minus 15 plus 4i to get 3 minus 2i is, so we should add 18 as a plus bi is equal to 18 minus b is 6 minus 6i. We should add this to that to get 3 minus 2i. You can check with that. So 18 minus 6i minus 15 plus 4i. So which is equal to what? So 18 minus 15 will be 3 and minus 6 plus 4i will be what? Minus 2i. So hence what we should add to that? Obviously we should add 18 minus 6i to that to get 3 minus 2i. And this is how we can find. Yeah. The next one is, as you know about the conjugate of a complex number. So we should verify that. Say what we can verify here is, say for example, say z1 plus z2 or minus plus or minus z2 whole conjugate will be equal to z1 conjugate here minus plus or minus z2. Okay, that is what we have to do it here now. So here we have what is LHS? LHS is 3 plus 7i minus 5 plus 2i whole conjugate is equal to 3 plus 7i conjugate minus 5 plus 2i conjugate. So this is what we have to find now. So let us take this one, that is LHS we have to take, that is 3 plus 7i minus 5 plus 2i whole conjugate is equal to, let us simplify this one and we can come to the conclusion. So now this is 3 plus 7i, you just multiply this minus 5 and minus 2i conjugate. So now this is equal to 3 minus 5 minus 2 and here 7i minus 2i, it will be plus 5i and its conjugate. So which is equal to, so now what is a conjugate? How do you find the conjugate? So you just alternate the sign of the imaginary part. The sign of imaginary part here is plus, make it minus. So it will be minus 2 minus 5i. Similarly, you can take that on the other side. So which is it? 3 plus 7i conjugate minus 5 plus 2i conjugate. So this is equal to, conjugate of 3 plus 7i is 3 minus 7i minus, so here we are not applying a conjugate there. So remember, so we are applying the conjugate only for 5 plus 2i. What is the conjugate of 5 plus 2i? 5 minus 2i. So this is equal to 3 minus 7i minus 5 plus 2i. So now this is equal to 3 minus 5, so minus 2, minus 7i plus 2i will be minus 5i. So you can look at this too. Both are equal. Hence we can say that 3 plus 7i minus 5 plus 2i whole conjugate is equal to 3 plus 7i minus 5 plus 2i. Hence we have proved. Hence we showed that this will be equal to that, as both values will be equal to minus 2 minus 5i as well as minus 2 minus 5. Hence we can equate. That is how we can show. Next we have argument of a complex number. See, as of now, we express the complex number in such a way that z is equal to x plus iy, or z is equal to a plus bi. So those are the Cartesian coordinates. If you express z is equal to x plus iy, which is the Cartesian form, okay. So x and y are the Cartesian coordinates, so we can express the complex number in the Cartesian form also. So now we are now let us learn how to represent a complex number in polar coordinates. What are polar coordinates? As you know that polar coordinates are r comma theta. Now we have to represent complex number in the form of a polar coordinates. Let us learn that now. So this is a xy plane. So here let p of a comma b is a complex number. See, we have represented the complex number in the form of a point, and that can be represented as z is equal to a plus bi, where a and b are real number, and OP in this OP, the angle makes with the positive x-axis as theta. Theta will be the angle, and we have to draw PM, the PM perpendicular to x-axis, up, and let OP. This is the OP, the distance OP we represented as R. And from the triangle OMP, from the right angle triangle OMP, what is OM? OM is A, and MP will be B. So now from that triangle, what is that triangle? From OMP. So remember OMP, from this triangle I can able to define cos theta as well as sin theta there. So with that, so we have defined that what is cos theta, that is A by R. So that can be represented as R cos theta is equal to A, and similarly R sin theta, we have defined sin theta from the triangle R into sin theta will be equal to B. So as we know that z is equal to A plus Bi, that can be replaced, A and B can be replaced by what? R cos theta and R sin theta. Now z is equal to R cos theta plus I times sin theta. This is actually z is equal to A plus IP. This can be written as what is A? R cos theta, and B is R sin theta. From these two terms we have taken R common term. So now this represents, see, z is equal to R times of cos theta plus I sin theta represents which is a polar form of a complex number. We have represented this in the form of a polar coordinates as R and theta. So now from this what is R? R is nothing but the modulus of a complex number z is equal to A plus Bi, which is expressed as R is equal to square root of A square plus B square, and tan theta. Similarly, you can define tan theta from there. It gives the argument, that is tan theta is equal to B by A, and theta can be expressed as tan inverse of B by A. And here we can say that I told you, no, so what is R? R is nothing but the polar form of a complex number z. Here R and theta are nothing but the modulus as well as and argument of a complex number. Now let us see the multiplication of complex number. Yeah, See, now we are going to multiply two complex numbers, say Z1 and Z2. Here Z1 is A plus Bi and Z2 is equal to C plus Di. So now let us multiply these two. We have to find its product Z1 and Z2. Yeah, Z1 and Z2 is equal to A plus Bi into C plus Di. Now we should multiply this term with this one as well as this Bi with this one. So that is how A into C plus Di plus Bi into C plus Di. Let us simplify this. A into C and A into Di plus Bi into C, that is BCi, and this is BDi square. This is BDi square. As you know that the value of I square is minus 1. Yeah. So you can substitute the value of I square is minus 1 in the previous step. So you will get minus BD, AC minus BD. Yeah, see here AC plus from this two I can take I common, that is AD plus BC I, and here I square is what, minus 1, therefore I can substitute minus 1 there, so it will become minus BD. Now AC and minus BD will be the real terms, so I thought I can group this AC minus BD plus AD plus BC times I. This is the product of the two complex numbers Z1 into Z2. That is we have in this step. Therefore, we can say that the A plus Bi and C plus Di are the two complex number and their product is defined as the complex number, say AC minus BD plus AD plus BCi. See, with this we can have an example, that is 1 plus 2i into 1 minus 3i. So let us find its product, say, yeah. So now what you can do is you can multiply this, 1 into 1 will be 1 and this 1 into minus 3i will be minus 3i and 2 into 1 is 2i into 1 is 2i and this plus 2i minus 3i will be minus 6i square and minus 6i square with this, yeah. So now you can group the real terms as well as imaginary terms. So you will left with 1 minus of minus 6, so it will be plus, so you will get 7 and this will be minus 3 plus 2 and we took that I common, so we left with minus 3 plus 2 as minus 1, minus 1 into plus become minus, so this is minus 7 minus I. Next we have to prove one property here, so that is modulus of Z1 into Z2 is equal to modulus of Z1 into modulus of Z2. Yeah. See, any complex number can be represented in the polar form, in polar coordinates, so that can be represented as, I have chosen that Z1 as R1 of cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 1, and another complex number Z2 can also written as R2 of cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. Now we can find its modulus. So this is Z1 can be written as R1 cos theta 1 plus R1 sin theta 1 I, because it's imaginary part. So now we can find what is its modulus. What that is, you can square this R1 cos theta 1 whole square plus you can square this as well, R1 sin theta 1 whole square. So this will be equal to this will be R1 square into cos theta 1 square plus R1 square into sin square theta 1. Now from this, what is that? R1 square is common. So we left with cos square theta 1 plus sin square theta 1. So if you square root of R1 is will be R1, and this is square root of cos square theta 1 plus sin square theta 1. As you know that what is cos square theta plus sin square theta? Cos square theta plus sin square theta will be 1 and its square root will be 1. Therefore, it is R1. What is R1? Nothing but modulus of Z1. So that is how we can express that modulus of Z1 is equal to R1. Next. Similarly, we can represent modulus of Z2 as R2. Hence, now let us consider the product Z1 into Z2. Z1 into Z2 Z1 is this one and Z2 is this. Now you can multiply that. R1 into R2 you can take one side. So now cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 1 and multiply that with cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. So we have written together. Yeah. So now you multiply this cos theta 1 into cos theta 2, and here before that I have grouped this, that is I sin theta 1 cos theta 2. Here is cos theta 1 sin theta 1 and cos theta 2 is here. Why here I am getting negative sign is because if I multiply I sin theta 1 into I sin theta 2, it will be I square sin theta 1 into sin theta 2 and I square will be the minus, plus cos theta 1 into sin theta 2, that is what cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 2, this is one, and this one will be I sin theta 1 into cos theta 2, that is what here we have written. From that 2 we have taken I common. Now from this we can write cos theta 1 cos theta 2 minus sin theta 1 sin theta 2 is nothing but cos of theta 1 plus theta 2, the formula. And here you can find, see, sin theta 1 into cos theta 2 plus cos theta 1 into sin theta 2. Say sin A cos B plus cos A sin B will be equal to sin of A plus B. So this can be written as sin of theta 1 plus theta 2. We have used formula here. So with this one is sin of theta 1 plus theta 2 with I here, and this one is cos of theta 1 plus theta 2. Yeah, this is Z1 into Z2, the product. Now for this we have to take the modulus. So if you take the modulus, this will be equal to this R1 square into R2 square, which is inside the square bracket, R1 square R2 square into cos square theta 1 plus theta 2 plus, or this one, sin square of theta 1 plus theta 2. So if you take R1 square into R2 square, out of the square root you will get R1 into R2 only. See, you multiply R1 and R2 with these two terms and then you can make it square under the square root. Now this becomes R1 and R2, and inside that square root of cos square theta 1 plus theta 2 plus sin square theta 1 plus theta 2. So with this I can replace 1, square root of 1 will be 1. So 1 into R1 into R2 is R1 into R2. So now what is R1 and R2? In the beginning we have expressed that R1 is modulus of Z1 and R2 is equal to modulus of Z2. This is what we expressed in the beginning of this proof. So hence we can replace what is R1, modulus of Z2. What is R2? Modulus of Z2. You can replace that. After replacing, we can have modulus of z1 into z2 is equal to modulus of z1 into modulus of z2. That is a that is actually the proof. Hence, we can define its argument as well for the complex numbers z1 and z2. z1 into z2 is equal to theta 1 plus theta 2, which is equal to argument of z1 plus argument of z2. Yeah. So, let us find the modulus of complex number here. So, here there are two complex number, we have to find its product first and then we can able to find its modulus. So, now here if you take modulus on both sides, so modulus of z is equal to modulus of this one. Yeah, by the property we can say modulus of 1 plus I into modulus of 4 minus 3I, we can express it. So, now we have to find what is modulus of 1 plus I, as well as we can able to find what is modulus of 4 minus 3I. So, now let us find what is modulus of 1 plus I. So, which is square root of 1 square plus what is the imaginary part 1. So, you may make it square. So, square root of 1 square plus 1 square, which is equal to square root of 2, and another one which is that 4 minus 3I. So, I can find that modulus. So, what is that? The real part is 4, make it square, plus what is imaginary part minus 3, make it minus 3 whole square. 4 square is what? 16, and minus 3 square is 9. 16 plus 9 is 25. So, square root of 16 plus 9, which is equal to square root of 25, and square root of 25 is 5. Therefore, now we got what is modulus of z is 5 into root 2. So, in the next class we do more problems regarding to this. Thank you. Sai Ram.